JDs and Lentilman, Goys and Burrows, welcome back to the channel, and today we have a really cool video talking about an upcoming extraction-style shooter called Grayzone Warfare that the more I've done the research on, the more excited I'm getting for this game. So to give a quick synopsis on what Grayzone Warfare is, it's an immersive tactical FPS with a maximum focus on realism. Join a private military company and navigate a vast open world setting alone or in a squad. Adapt to your surroundings, use tactics to your advantage, and fight against other human operators and AI-controlled enemies. Now, if all this sounds kind of familiar, there is a game out there right now that maybe you don't know about, but it's called Escape from Tarkov. And we played a lot here on the channel, and most recently, with the 0.14 wipe, we've been playing it a ton. And most recently, I've played a couple wipes of Escape from Tarkov in the past, but this most recent one has, I don't want to say dumbed down because that's a bad way to put it, but has simplified a little bit of what some people complained about in the Tarkov community in the recoil patterns, armor rework, and so much more. And this has been by far my favorite wipe compared to any in the past. So Grayzone Warfare is going to be a paid game. You'll have to pay for it, but it's not going to have any microtransactions, and I really love that because right now, in the world of video games, microtransactions have taken over everything. But it's going to be a PC exclusive. There'll be a link in the description to wishlist it over on Steam, and they plan on having some playtest upcoming soon, and it plans to release as of now in Q1 of 2024, which, as it being January at the time of recording this, that means that we're going to have it coming out by March 24th, because that's when Q1 ends. Now, don't quote me on that, but to stay up to date with everything, I recommend heading over to their Discord. I'm over there. There's a ton of great people in there, and they update information all the time. So the game's going to take place in a fictional Dominican Republic island, but if some of the places look familiar, it's because it's that of Laos in the real world. So they're taking aspects of that and making it this beautiful tropical scenery, which is something that I actually think is going to be really cool, especially as someone who plays Tarkov in the dungy Russian kind of suburb that it takes place in. This will be a complete different change of environment. So now it's still going to have that extreme realistic tactical gameplay with the really customizable weapons and gear where armor matters, helmets matter, all sorts of stuff like that, and a health system that is probably my favorite system inside of Tarkov. It's the most unique to me where instead of it being a hit scan game and, kind of damage profiles in specific areas, your specific areas do different things and different amounts of bleeds and all that kind of stuff have to be looked at in different ways with different items and just makes for a way more tactical and immersive kind of feel. I'm not the type that thinks games need to be extremely immersive and tactical, but I'm definitely on board with games being a little more high risk, high reward. It makes for some incredible moments and just some unique styles of gameplay. And right now that's why I love EFT so much, is because every single outcome is a different one. Every raid feels different, every gunfight feels different, and so much more. So there's going to be 3 different PMC groups that you'll be able to choose from. As of now, the only thing that they'll do is provide different styles of gear, so probably the style of weapon you use, whether it's the AK branch or the M4 branch, most likely is what they're going for there. But in the future, they do plan on having your PMC groups be really definitive with different quest lines and so much more. Alongside that, we're going to have traders just like we do in EFT, and we'll put pictures of them up on the screen for you now. You guys can see each one of these are going to be different, like recruited PMC groups and whatever, that will have different quest lines for you. And speaking of quest lines, there's going to be over 150 quests at the start, which at first you might be like, okay, that's it. But if it's anything like EFT, these quests are going to be a grind. They're going to be hard. And in a game where you live, you keep everything and you die and you lose everything, quests are very fun to do. One thing that they have talked a lot about inside their Discord is they want to be a community-oriented game. They want it to be a community-strong game. They want the community to decide what happens in the game, the changes that are made, and the issues and all that will be brought upon from them. They're not going to cater to this game to one side or the other. They want it to be collectively a fun and exciting game, and that's actually what I like to hear, because when your community all agrees and they're all in unison with one thing, the game thrives in so many ways. Now, they did talk about occasionally they're going to be doing wipes just like other games and stuff like that, and the wipes, we don't know the time frame of when they'll come. That's something obviously that we're not even in that session of talking yet with the game becoming early access and all that, but over the time they're going to be showcasing a bunch more exclusive creator content that people might have gotten their hands on the game early, and there's other videos all over YouTube talking about that. So one thing now that separates this from other extraction style shooters is they're taking a different approach where there are going to be no time limits for any session, and they're aiming to make their game more approachable so that you can stay in one session as long as you want. On top of facing other factions and AI, you'll be able to go through the story mode by completing various tasks for vendors. So they don't want it to be that you have a 30-minute set time frame forcing you into engagements with other players. If you're one of those people that want to go around and just loot and learn the map and kind of just get that aspect of learning the game to start, you're going to be able to do that, because a lot of things and a lot of stuff in Tarkov that's a big turnoff for not only like my friends and even for me for the longest time was there is no like tutorial. There's no way to really, I mean, there's offline raids, but there's no way to learn the game the way you want to. You're kind of forced to learn the game that Tarkov wants you to. And they basically said, we don't want anyone to feel forced with a limited time session, so you can explore the open world jungle with your teammates and take your time. If you decide to jump into another session, you will keep the gear that you had in your previous, and you will continue your story progress. The game's going to run on the latest Unreal 5 engine, which means it's going to look really, really good. And honestly, a tropical map on Unreal 5 is going to be so fun. Tarkov, I think, is also moving to Unreal 5 soon, so they'll kind of rival each other in graphics. But the one thing I said, Tarkov's a very dingy, dungy, dark game. It's something that the lighting and the feel and the aesthetic of it is very just death tone, kind of. And honestly, if grayzone warfare is very tropical and vibrant, but still gives that same kind of high risk, high reward feeling, I think the game has a really good potential. Another big thing they did talk about is there will be helicopters that are active on the map at all times that allow you to take from point A to point B across the map. That's something that's pretty interesting. I could be wrong on exactly how those work, but they are active the whole time on the map, so you'll be able to traverse the map a little bit quicker. I'm wondering how that works with other players. Will you be able to be shot out of them? Can you fight back while in them? There's just so many questions I have to ask about that, but that is something that's a lot different than EFT. EFT is very slow-paced. You can't really move around the map like you'd want to, but if you drop into one area and you want to progress to another one, then you can definitely do that through the helicopter, which sounds pretty awesome. Now, I said it earlier in the video, and I'll say it again if you guys want to. There'll be a link down in the description. You guys can wishlist this game if you want, and I'm telling you right now, this is a game that I'm excited to really get my hands on officially. Hopefully, we get some early access soon. I don't know when they're planning on doing that, but with so many games that are coming out throughout the year, there's a big market for a lot of extraction-style shooters because no one can really hit that nail on the head like Tarkov did. So it's sounding like this game is following in the footsteps of it, and it could be another game that we enjoy playing here on the channel. So if you guys want to, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It means the world to me. We upload almost every single day here on the channel. We're going back to some commentary style for the time being here, because right now we have Tarkov. We're giving you the funny moments and stuff like that, and then we're also just having fun making videos again. So, love you guys to death. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, boys, you're beautiful, one of a kind. Deuces.